I am exhausted. Last night I made a 6-hour trip to attend my grandmother's funeral. Work only gave me 2 days, so I was trying for a quick up and back. The service was an all-day traditional Catholic affair. I started my journey homeward immediately after the graveside service. I knew it was going to be a rough trip, but I was not prepared for my mental state. A lack of sleep beforehand and the emotional day left me in a daze. I just couldn't stop crying. I drove aimlessly in what I thought was the general direction of home. It was dark when I zoned in enough to find out I had no idea where I was. I could make out very little beyond the beam of my headlights. The stretch of road was straight and flat, both sides closely lined by thick trees that melded seamlessly into the darkness. The road lines were worn with age, fading and remerging in random spots. I suddenly realized I haven't seen another vehicle in a long time, or a house for that matter. A feeling of dread began to emerge. I shook it off with a mental reminder that lack of sleep makes one paranoid. The road was narrow, so with a final glance that ensured there wasn't an oncoming vehicle, in front or behind, I stopped the car. I did a quick look around. With nothing but the dim trees and a sense of apprehension, I reached for my phone. The auto backlight poured through the car, blinding me to what little I could see outside. It was too bright. Wanting to get out of here fast, I brought up maps. I watched as my last location populated the screen. It was the graveyard from my grandmother's funeral. I hastily hit the search bar at the top and entered home as my destination. The calculation was quick, but the screen didn't move from the graveyard. The loud robotic voice assaulted the silence, "You have reached your destination." My heart began to hammer, but things glitch all the time. I turned the app off and back on. Once again my destination and location showed as the graveyard. Over my speakers the harsh robotic voice repeated, "You have reached your destination." I immediately shut my phone down for a reboot. As I sat in the darkness, a voice suddenly yelled from outside the car, "You have reached your destination." The second my mind registered what I had heard, something slapped against the roof. I screamed and jumped. With adrenaline and fear I slammed my foot against the gas. I drove scared shitless on that road for exactly 32 minutes. I made a wild turn at the stop sign that finally marked the end of it. Another few miles before I finally came across lights and was able to get on a main road. I turned off at a populated 24-hour store and finally got enough courage to get out of my vehicle. The roof of the car was scrapped up. The damage forming a weird zigzag pattern. I'm now sitting here in a hotel room replaying what happened. It had to be a prank. Someone on the side of the road watching me? That idea is a whole different level of creep. I tried to bring maps back up, but it now says I am offline. Definitely glitched out. I will figure things out tomorrow. I need to sleep.